As the years passed, Illyra and Kale's love deepened, and they eventually married in a simple ceremony beneath the boughs of the ancient forest. The villagers and forest spirits alike gathered to celebrate, their joy mirrored in the soft glow of Illyra's hair, which shimmered like moonlight on the eve of their union. Though her magic had changed, it remained as beautiful and potent as ever, now, intertwined with the life she and Kale had built together. Not long after, Illyra began to sense a new kind of magic growing within her, something small, yet powerful, stirring just beneath her heart. She realized with a mixture of joy and awe that she was expecting a child. The forest itself seemed to share in her happiness, flowers bloomed more vibrantly, and animals appeared more frequently at her doorstep, as if they, too, were eager to greet the new life on its way. Pregnancy, however, brought its own challenges. As her child grew, Illyra found her magic becoming unpredictable, sometimes flaring up at the slightest emotion. She would accidentally summon rainstorms with a stray thought or cause the forest to glow at night when she dreamed. It was as if the child within her shared her magic, amplifying it in ways she couldn't always control. Kale remained by her side, soothing her when she grew anxious, reminding her that the changes were a sign of their child's potential and strength. When the time came for her to give birth, the labor was difficult. Illyra's connection to the magic around her was so strong that the whole forest seemed to pulse with each wave of pain. As she struggled, she felt the presence of the Ether Warden, the ancient guardian who had once taken a piece of her magic in exchange for the cure. It appeared at the edge of the clearing, watching her silently, as if weighing something unseen. With a deep breath, Illyra called out to the Warden, asking for its blessing over her child. She could feel the ancient being's power reaching out, steadying her, as if it was returning a measure of the magic it had once taken. Under the Warden's watchful gaze, Illyra found the strength to bring her daughter into the world, a beautiful baby girl with a tuft of white hair as brilliant as starlight. They named her Lyra, after the constellation that had been shining above them the night she was born. From the moment Lyra opened her eyes, it was clear she had inherited not just her mother's appearance, but also her magic. Her tiny fingers sparked with traces of light when she reached out, and the air around her seemed to hum with an energy all its own. As Lyra grew, her powers began to manifest in unique and startling ways. Unlike Illyra's magic, which was deeply tied to the earth and the forest, Lyra's seemed to resonate with the sky and the stars. She could draw light from the moon and make the night sky dance with colors at her whim. Sometimes, when she giggled, tiny orbs of light would appear around her, like miniature stars brought down to earth. Raising a magical child came with many surprises and some difficulties. Lyra's magic would often erupt unexpectedly, leaving Illyra and Kale to scramble to calm their daughter and bring things back to normal. There were times when Lyra's temper would spark wildfires, or her tears would bring sudden downpours. Yet, in those moments, Illyra would cradle her close, whispering ancient lullabies that soothed not just her child, but the magic itself. Kale proved to be a patient and loving father. Though he had no magic of his own, his steady presence became a grounding force for both Illyra and Lyra. He would sit with Lyra at night, pointing out the constellations and telling her stories about each star, teaching her to appreciate the magic in the world not just for its power, but for its beauty and wonder. As Lyra reached her early years, the bond between mother and daughter grew even stronger. Illyra began teaching her the old ways, how to listen to the whispers of the wind, how to feel the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, and how to use magic not just to change the world, but to understand it. The fox, still a loyal companion, would often join their lessons, offering its own wisdom in its sly and knowing manner. One day, as they were practicing by the stream, Lyra asked, "Mama, will I ever be as powerful as you?" Illyra looked at her daughter, her white hair glowing softly in the afternoon Sunday. "You already are, my love," she replied. "But power is not something that can be measured like the height of a tree or the length of a river. It grows with you, shaped by the choices you make, the love you give, and the courage you find." Lyra nodded solemnly, and Illyra saw a spark in her daughter's eyes, a spark of curiosity and determination that reminded her so much of herself. At that age, she knew that Lyra's journey would not be easy, just as hers had not been. There would be trials and temptations, times when her magic would feel more like a burden than a gift. But Illyra also knew that her daughter was not alone. She had a family who loved her, and a mother who would guide her every step of the way. As time went on, Lyra began to discover her own path, one that blended the magic of earth and sky in a way that was entirely her own. She became known as the Star Child, a young witch whose power flowed as naturally as light itself. And while Elira watched her daughter grow, she found herself marveling at how love had not only shaped her life but had given birth to a new kind of magic, a magic born from sacrifice, courage, and the bonds that linked one generation to the next. Elira's love for Kael remained as strong as ever, and their life together was filled with moments of quiet happiness, shared struggles, and unending support. They were not simply partners in love, they were partners in magic, raising a child who carried forward their legacy, a legacy that would one day outshine the stars themselves. Hope you enjoyed the story. Follow for more interesting stories, like and comment.